How y'all doing? Quick mic check. Someone in the comments let me know if this is coming through loud and clear. I'm going to get the other channels on live. I'll give you something to think about. There was a quote I read that said, "Everyone has two lives. The second one begins when you realize you only have one life." I love that quote. It stuck with me. There's so many people who are living for someday or tomorrow or eventually when the timing's right. And what's interesting about that is at some point you realize now is all that you have. And so today we're going to dive into one of the most powerful truths about success, about achievement, about fulfillment, about freedom, the things most people are trying to figure out how to get access to, and the gap between wherever you are and having that life that you dream about. It's rarely about knowledge, and 90% of the time, it's going to be about mindset. It's going to be about consistency, and it's going to be about focus. And so you're going to walk away today with three specific levers you can pull to close that gap, whatever it is you're working on, to get you closer to where you ultimately want to be starting today. And the mindset shift that makes it really possible. I'll tell you a little bit about my day. I was speaking to some amazing humans. I spoke to a wonderful young woman from India today who's the sole provider for her family, her parents, her family. They're counting on her and their business is struggling. I was talking to a client today who has an incredible business here in the US, and he's rebuilding some momentum to build a new program that I'm helping him launch. And everything's finally set up and we're ready to take this thing and make it go. I was talking to a friend online who has a new job opportunity that he's super excited about. And he's got a great salary, great earning potential, but he's not picking up a whole lot of traction. Another friend sent me a message, and she has a new job opportunity to do training in a new industry. So she's trying to get some energy behind it. And I'll tell you the truth, the difference between these being opportunities that showed up and disappeared, and the difference between these being opportunities that showed up in their life and became the moment where everything shifted for the better, where all the stars aligned, where they finally were the one that shifted what the future map looked like for their family tree. The difference is not how educated they are. It's not how many degrees they've got. It's going to really come down to, like I said, their mindset, their consistency, and their focus. And so let's talk through this real quick. Let's make this a little more real. Imagine you're standing on the edge of a canyon, and on one side is your current life, your habits, your routines, your environment, what you're tolerating, what you've deemed is pretty good or good enough. And on the other side is the life you dream of, whether it's the body, the relationship, the income, the impact, rewriting the stars for your family tree, whatever it is for you. The bridge across that canyon isn't luck. So many people I talk to all the time, and I have a little cousin. She just won $1 million on a TV show. Now, she learned something quickly about California taxes, which is 510,000 of that disappears instantly the moment you get it. It's rough. And a little bit of luck, but she works her face off for those opportunities, and she finally got one to land. And so just like, the young lady in India who's taking care of her family, and or my friend who just got these new jobs in Switzerland or here in the US in Northern California, it's going to come down to strategy. It's going to come down to their ability to stay consistent, to stay locked in, to keep putting in the reps, even and especially when you're not seeing the results. But if they keep showing up again and again and again, it's going to crack through. And I'll tell you, the most important question, especially if you're in a new community, a new job, a new opportunity, the most important question you can be asking every day with every person you meet is, how can I add more value to this person's life than anyone else is currently willing to do? How can I add more value to their life? And if you continually show up and add as much value as humanly possible without expecting anything in return, I promise you, Doors will open down the road that you can't even imagine. I'll tell you a couple stories when we wrap this up. But let's talk about the 3 pillars for today. Number 1, mindset. How you see the world and your place in it. If I were to ask you right now, what's your place in the world? What are you supposed to accomplish with your life? What's possible for you? What's the upper limit on your capacity? That's as far as you're going to go. What's the lower limit? What's the least you're going to do with this lifetime? I don't know your answers, but I'll tell you this. All of us have a set of answers in our head that we've come to the conclusion that's pretty much what we're supposed to do with our life. Whatever that is 90% of the chance where you're going to land up. So my question is, have you written that story so that psychologically your mindset, what you believe you're here to do, what you believe your soul contract is, what you believe the stars were written for you, matches your actual dreams and goals? How often I talk to people and it blows me away. What do you want? Well, I like financial freedom. I like to be healthy and happy. I like to fall in love. I like to have a beautiful family. I like to have these things. Cool. Mindset. Let's check in. Truthfully, as honest as you could possibly be. Why were you put here on this planet? And they'll go, I don't know. What is your upper limit of your potential? Truly, what do you think your upper limit is? I don't know. I guess anything's possible. Well, anything's possible isn't the dream you have. Why is your upper limit not attached to the dreams and goals you have? I don't know. Do you think you have better odds of success or less likely to succeed if your mindset and your story about who you are and what you're here for matches what you ultimately want to accomplish? And they go, well, that kind of makes sense. If my mindset matched my goals, there's probably a higher likelihood that I would achieve it. And I was like, cool, let's start there. And then I said, if you got your mindset to match your goals and dreams, the next step is, can you be consistent? Can you get the micro actions every day to stay on track with where you're ultimately trying to go? And I just ask them, tell me what you did in the past 48 hours. If I were to take that as a math equation and multiplied it every day for the next 12 years, where do you land up? And I'd tell them there's only 3 options. Number 1, it's a red line that slowly gets worse day after day after day. And 12 years from now, your results are a burning dumpster fire of shit. And they all start giggling. And I said, I mean, it sounds silly. I use a funny metaphor, but really, there's certain things you're doing every day that if you keep doing, guarantee shitty results. Guaranteed. And you know it. And I said, what about, I bet there's something you do that if every day you did it, you get, you have momentum, things start working, you're doing really well, you're feeling really healthy, your relationship's working, you're making some money, and then you start goofing off. Life's not just about work. Life's about enjoying it. Life's about, and we come up with a new philosophy when things are going good. And we stop doing the things that worked, and all of a sudden things start getting bad. And they get bad enough that all of a sudden one day we flip out. We're like, whoa, this ain't okay anymore. I need to do something different. And all of a sudden you turn on the burners and boom, your results start to go up, 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 up until it gets good enough. Good enough is what they say. It's great. Things are good enough. And then you turn it off and it goes down. And then you turn it on and it goes up. And you spend the next 10 years. They say you didn't live 10 years. You lived the same year 10 times. You've made 0 progress. 10 years went by and you landed up in the exact same place you started. If you've been in this, drop a comment. How many of you have done this? Where you woke up 10 years later and went, shoot, nothing really changed. Kind of exactly where I was 10 years ago. Same amount, same health, same fitness, same relationships. I check my bank account, same amount of money. Nothing's really changed. You didn't live 10 years. You lived 1 year 10 times. Or consistency is the second piece. Mindset's number 1, consistency. You finally get on what we call the green line. You start doing one thing every day that you know guarantees progress. You start doing it and you take action and it works little by little. One day of that will not make a difference in your whole life. But doing it every day for the next 12 years, change your entire life, change the entire trajectory of your future. You get that action in place, and all of a sudden the future changes. So I said, wait a second. What if we got your mindset, your story, who you think you are and what you're here for, to align with your actual goals? And then we got your habits, your behaviors to actually get you on track to where you want to be. There's only one more part. Focus. Can we keep you laser focused on what you actually want for a prolonged period of time? Or do you get excited every time there's a new TikTok, a tweet, a Instagram reel that catches your attention? You go, ooh, I got to try that. And you just zip off in a new direction every 30 days. Because if you're willing to stay consistent, I just did a financial map that gets us to over $1.4 billion. And I checked the math 3 times. I'm like, is this accurate? And I was like, yeah. Holy smokes. It's not that hard financially to get to those numbers. It takes a significant amount of time. And so focus. Can I stay focused and consistent on doing the thing that I believe in over a prolonged period of time? If you can create a fortune financially. You can create a relationship that most people dream of and very few people experience. You can give back. The reason we want the money to stack up over time, my wife and I have a dream called Forever Funds, where we take large sums of money and we invest them, and the interest and dividends earned, we then give to a cause or person we believe in forever. And it continues forever to take care of the people and projects we believe in. Like, that's cool. That's worth allowing it to stack up and be given away to stuff we believe in. That's really cool to us. It might not be cool to you, but it's cool to us. And so here's something to think about. According to a study published in Psychological Science, people who consistently track their progress towards their goal are 2.5x more likely to achieve them. So I'll ask you, if you have a dream, if you have a goal, are you tracking every day how much progress you're either making towards it or away from it? Again, most people go, no. I'm like, how? Well, you're 2.5 times more likely to get there if you just start tracking it. So here, let's level set here. The missing link isn't usually knowledge. It's belief, commitment, and execution. Let's talk about mindset real quick. Henry Ford had a great quote. He said that whether you believe you can or you believe you can't, you're right. If you don't think you can do it, you're right. If you think it's possible, you're right. Mindset is not just positive thinking. It's the lens, the filter through which you see and interpret everything in your life. 2 people can experience the same challenge. One person sees it as a setback. The other one sees it as an opportunity. What do you see it as? Something unexpected happens in your life. Is that auspicious timing? Is that God watching over you and clearing a path? Is that God's protection? His delays are not his denials? Is that your thought process? Or does something happen you don't like and you go, I knew it. It'd never work out. Why try? What's the point? It's up to you. That's your mindset. You know, there's a wonderful woman. My friend funded her research. Her name's Carol Dweck. And her research shows that people either have a growth mindset, which believes that they can improve through consistent effort, or they have a fixed mindset that believes you either have it when you're born or you don't. And if you don't, too bad, just give up. And so this thought is, what she found is people with a growth mindset perform significantly better in the long term, even if compared to those with the exact same amount of talent. You can have the same talent, same skills, same education, same background. But if you have that mindset, that becomes the differentiator for the one who succeeds versus the one who doesn't. And so, big question for you. Where in your life are you playing small? Are you giving in? Are you not trying? Are you tossing in the towel? Are you giving up? Are you waving the flag of defeat? Where in your life are you doing this because of the story that you don't have or the story you do have about yourself? Where in your life have you done this? I watch people do it all the time. This young lady from India I talked to this morning, she's wonderful. She goes, you know what? I have decided that I will be the person in my family tree that changes the stars for our family's future. I will not, what did she say? I will not be defeated. She goes, I'll do whatever it takes. I will succeed. My family will prosper because of me. I was like, that's awesome. That is awesome. What a decision she's made. She made it. Her mindset's locked in. Now, the big question is, will she be consistent? If life gives her an opportunity, will she see it as an opportunity? Will she step into it and figure out how to make it work? I get opportunities all the time. My wife and I have this amazing worksheet we work where we put in all the details of the opportunity, how much time, effort, energy, how much possible ROI we can get, what our skill set is. We put it side by side, all the opportunities. And then we choose one. What's one opportunity besides our main businesses? What's one opportunity we could focus on in our side 10 hours a week that might have the potential to have life-changing results connected to it? We have our main business, our main work, our main family, each other, relationship, health, all the stuff we do. And then we pick one thing at a time that we could focus on that has life-changing potential connected to it. And we take a big swing. So far, that's helped us do some amazing things. Like, we've had opportunities that most people don't get for 20, 30 years in their career. And the reason is because we've put them side by side, picked one that's worth it, and then we've stepped into the opportunity. We've gone after it. We didn't know what to do. We didn't know how to do it. We didn't have all the skills, but we had a mindset that said, we will figure this out. And it's worked. Not always, but enough. Here's the other piece, consistency. James Clear, he wrote this in a wonderful book called Atomic Habits. He says, you don't rise to the level of your goals, you fall to the level of your systems. Consistency, I think it's pretty sexy, but the world says consistency isn't sexy. Brushing your teeth before bed, doing the same reps in the gym when nobody's watching. This stuff isn't exciting, but here's the way to think about it. Imagine bamboo. For the first few years, it barely even sprouts and grows. It's this tiny little thing in the ground. But beneath the soil, it's developing this extensive root system, this amazing root system underground. And then suddenly, within just 6 weeks, it can grow up to 90 feet tall. So it's nothing. All of a sudden, boom, 90 feet tall. It's incredible. My belief is your habits work the same way. For a good portion of time, our habits in life, nobody sees them. It's invisible. It's just something we did or didn't do. It's just the 20 minutes of practicing a new language, or the 30 minutes of working out, or the writing your spouse a love note. It's the little things where it's like, oh, it's sweet, but yeah, it's just one thing. Done enough times, 90 feet growth, all of a sudden, seemingly overnight. They like to use the phrase overnight success. That's what generally happens. You're nothing, boom, overnight success. And it wasn't overnight. It was years of doing those little things consistently. Here's a stat to think about. 92% of people fail their New Year's resolution. Why? Because they confuse intensity with consistency. Success can be boring, but it's the small stuff daily that adds up over time. I always ask people, and I'll watch the comments real quick. If you had 24 hours to get into the best shape of your life, how would you do it? What routine, what exercise, what would you do if you had 24 hours to get into the best shape of your entire life? People normally kind of start thinking and they go, shit, is it CrossFit or the treadmill or maybe yoga? I could run a marathon. They start thinking of what they would do for 24 hours straight. But I'll tell you, if you went to the gym for 24 hours nonstop and you got on that treadmill for 24 hours, just ran, tomorrow you're going to be hurt, tired, sore, exhausted, have cramps. Like, you're going to be a mess. That's intensity. But if you went to the gym every day, for a half hour for the next 48 days in a row, every day, 30 minutes like clockwork, full intensity, probably change your entire life. It would certainly change your physique, probably change your mindset, change how you feel, change the way you look at life. And so this concept, the reason people fail is they try to do 24 hours in one day, expecting some type of magic to happen, versus saying, hey, I'm going to hit 30 minutes every day for the next decade. Guaranteed change your life. 30 minutes a day for 10 years, absolutely life-changing results. And so how can you do it? How can you lock in that habit where it sticks with you for a decade or two? And watch what happens. It's life-changing, I promise you. Third pillar is focus. In a world of dopamine loops, short attention spans, constant distraction, focus is a superpower. Your ability to stay laser focused on what matters most in life. That's also easy to get distracted by. We get distracted thinking the next thing is going to do it for us. The next mountain we climb, whatever that mountain is, the car, the house, the trip, the person, the girl, the guy, the fame, the fortune, the winning the game show, whatever the thing is, we think it's going to finally do it for us. You get to the top of the mountain, you realize there's only 4 things. Nice view, thin air, feeling of accomplishment for a little while, and a walk back down. It's all that exists at the peak. No one lives at the peak. They visit the peak throughout their life. And so Bruce Lee says the successful warrior is the average person with laser-like focus. Can you stay focused on what actually matters most to you in life? Your brain is like a spotlight. Wherever you shine that light is what gains energy, momentum, and progress. Most people are shining it everywhere. They're just flashing their light in every direction, meaning your focus is constantly scattered. So you're on work, notifications, gossip, worrying, self-doubt, what your neighbor thinks, how you think, how you're feeling, what happened yesterday, what might happen tomorrow. And you wonder why nothing's changed. You're just constantly shooting in every direction except for your goals. Statistics, according to Harvard Business Review, people who practice daily focus rituals are 31% more productive and 3 times more likely to achieve long-term goals. So let's wrap this up. If you feel like the goals you want or the life you're going after feels like it's out of reach, or you're worried, you have an opportunity, but you're worried you might mess it up. You're like, gosh, I know this opportunity is life-changing if I could just get myself to follow through. If you're in that position, how to get to that other side, it's a few key decisions. Number 1, to shift your mindset from victimhood to creator. I create the life I want. I will define the reality and I will forge through to make it happen. Number 2, to build the rituals that anchor in consistency. Can you build the daily rituals that keep you on path to where you ultimately want to go? And number 3, to protect your focus like it's your greatest asset, because if you can keep your mind laser focused, it's amazing what you can do over a prolonged period of time. Small hinges swing big doors. One decision today could shift the trajectory of your entire life. I love that quote. So 2 offers for you. Number 1, if you're working on your mindset, you're trying to dial in more grit and resilience to stay focused, to keep moving forward, even if life is challenging you, send me a direct message on any platform that says the word grit, and I'll send you the first free module of our Grit and Resilience program, where we help people just like you cross the canyon we talked about mentally, emotionally, and physically today. Or number 2, every quarter, I take on just a handful of personal clients. So if you want to DM me the word clarity, we'll hop on a quick 15-minute coaching call to map out your path and see if working one-on-one together would support you, your life, and your business. So hope you enjoyed this session. If you know someone who needs this message, please tag them in the video itself. And I'll see you tomorrow for another session just like this.